usually the ones that end up deciding this contest.
A hot start is pretty essential, isn't it, Steve? I mean, it seems like we rarely see guys recover from a bad first rack or two.
I think the key is that first money ball, Clark. Even if you miss a couple early, if you can make that money ball on the first rack, get a couple points under your belt, then all of a sudden you can settle down and start firing away.
Now with 4, 6.
Oh boy, that is pure right there.
One last rack remains. His 5th consecutive miss, 8 points. He barely cracks double digits with 10 points. Well, I didn't expect that score to be as low as it was. What about you guys?
Well, he missed his first 8 shots before he finally canned one, so a disastrous start. You could see it in his face and in his body language. Once he missed that many shots in a row, he was pretty much done.
So it's Klay Thompson ready to start here.
Well, Klay's dad was an NBA player, Michael Thompson, but more a post player and a center. Klay as a guard, a perimeter player who's got that beautiful shooting touch.
And Steve, you know that it's crucial to stay as loose and as relaxed and as comfortable as possible heading into the round.
Yeah, I thought my first couple of times in this competition, Clark, I was way too tense. And when I finally won it in my 4th try, it was because I really didn't have any expectations. I came in, just wanted to have fun, and I did have fun because I won.
Misses for the 4th straight time. Drains the money ball. Up to 10 now. He gets to the 10-point mark for the round. Well, not his finest showing. I think we can all agree he could have done a lot better.
Well, we kept waiting for that point where he'd get hot and rattle off a few in a row, but it just never came.
So we'll see Kyrie Irving.
You know, I feel like guys sometimes start to drift off mentally deep in the round. How about you, Steve? Did you ever find your focus slipping away as you got to the last couple of racks?
I think my first couple of years, by the 3rd rack, I started thinking about popcorn or, maybe where I was going to go to dinner later.
Money ball, no good. Misses for the 4th straight time. Off the mark with 5 in a row now.
He's really cooling off here.
8 points. 9 points. One last rack remains. He's got 12. In the end, it's a 12-point round for him. I think he'll benefit from some of the pretty poor scoring out of the other players.
Yeah, in this format, once it goes wrong, sometimes the harder a player tries, the worse it gets. And you only have a few seconds to correct it, and it can get away from you quick.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so difficult, Clark, because as you said, the time constraints start to play on your mind. You hear that clock ticking in your head, and you force it. And when you force it, there's no way you're going to get into a good groove.
And here we go with Paul George.
To avoid being dismissed and kicked out, he's got to have at least 10.
The door left open here. He's in good shape. 4 more points to stay alive. He misses his 4th straight.
4 more points to stay alive. This is not getting it done.
7 points.
He needs 3 more points.
Can't get the money ball. 3 more points to stay in contention.
And a rough finish here.
Oh, and he will not advance to the next round fight.
Going to just finish out the string here.
Nope, just not enough.
9 points is what he finishes with. That's far below what he's capable of doing when he's on his game.
You're exactly right, Kevin. He was all over the place, just could never get it going, never seemed to settle down.
Well, that's the thing about this contest. Sometimes you want to stop, take a breath, and collect yourself, but you never have the time to do it.
And so here's Curry now.
To avoid being dismissed and kicked out, he's got to have at least 10. I think that's definitely a score within his reach, guys.
5 more points to stay in it. Now with 6. 4 more points to stay alive. That's the money ball. 2 more points to stick around. He's got 9. 3 of 4 on money balls.
Nice finish. Well done.
It's all tied.
And that is the best score of the qualifying round.
He averages 3 points a rack and finishes with 15. I'd say he handled that round pretty well, guys.
Well, we all know how important the money balls are in this event, and he hit 4 out of 5 of them. That's very good work.
And here we go with Freak. It can be a big advantage going last. He knows the score he needs to beat in order to qualify. He needs just 10 points to make the next round. A great shot here. Not the highest score to beat. 1 point.
7 more points to stay in contention.
4 points. Makes it 4 straight for him. 5 more, and he advances. Now with 6. He got 3 points off that rack. Not bad. 3 more, and he moves on. He's got 8. He's got 9. Now with 11. Fight for second.
And now he's in second place all by himself.
He's at 14.
That ties him for the top spot in this round, guys.
And that is the best score of the qualifying round.
And a great finish here.
9 consecutive makes. He is in a flow. 11 straight. He's raining them down. He's all the way up there at 23 points. Wow, how about that performance, guys? Man, nice work.
Yeah, dozen shots in a row. I mean, just on fire. And trust me, guys, it's not that easy. I mean, that was sensational shooting.
Money's got the bars set pretty high for himself in the finals after blowing away the competition in the first round, guys.
Definitely, Kevin. I mean, if he can shoot anywhere close to as well as he did in qualifying, he'll have this contest in the bag.
Yeah, but, you know, one round doesn't blend into the next, Clark. So he's got to put it together again. And one thing we do know, if he's got another performance like that one in him, this is going to be an unbelievable performance overall.
So it'll be Kyrie Irving here. He squeaked into this round with the lowest qualifying score so far. He's the first one to go in this one. 6 misses in a row. He can't get it going.
A rough patch right now.
3 racks down, 2 to go. 4 points. One last rack remains. He's up to 7. 8 points. 8 points is all he ends up with there. Well, I didn't expect that score to be as low as it was. What about you guys?
You know, he clanged 7 in a row in that round. You just can't afford a miss streak like that in this contest. There's just not time to make it up.
And so we'll see Stephen Curry.
You look at the numbers through the first part of his career. I mean, there's a legitimate case that Steph Curry will go down as maybe the best shooter in the history of the NBA.
Well, like they say, Steve, and it's true, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So it's essential that a player keeps a fast pace and gets to all 25 balls before the buzzer.
Yeah, and it's really a balance, Clark, because you can't race through them either. If you do, you're going to fall out of your rhythm. So it's a fine line between being focused and being quick. You've got to find that balance. Curry really catching fire now. He's in the zone.
Now to 15. And now with 16. Money ball, no good.
Finishing strong.
Make it 17. Now up to 18. He racks up 20 points in the round. His stroke looked terrific in that round, guys.
I think things are so much easier when a shooter gets off to a good start, and he certainly did that.
And here we go with Freak. We've reached the climax. He's got one last shot to go home with the trophy.
20 points, the score to beat. He can take the lead with 21.
2 points. Good rack right there. 4 points total. Five points now. 6. He could have taken more from that rack. Only got 2 points. 7 points. 8 points. He's got 9. 5 big points on that rack alone.
2 misses from this point on are all he can afford.
He's got 12. Too much ground to make up here, and Clark, he's done.
And that's just the way it goes sometimes. Out of here.
Yeah, you do your best, but, you know, this competition is so tough. If you're not on your game, you're not going to win.
He averages 3 points a rack and finishes with 15. And we've reached the finish line of a Foot Locker three-point contest. All our competitors gave it their best shot, but one man was head and shoulders above the rest. This year's champion, Stephen Curry.
He was one chill customer out there. He really kept his wits about him the entire way through the contest.
And that's the key, Clark. He never got too high, never got too low, just found his groove and took off from there.
And from all of us here at 2K Sports, we're thrilled to have brought you this year's three-point contest. This is Kevin Harlan, along with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, saying so long and thanks for watching.
Can't be sleeping, keep on waking without a woman next to me.
Welcome to our coverage of the NBA All-Star Game with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. This is Kevin Harlan.
And guys, this really sets up to be an incredible night in terms of excitement from the coaches to the players to us here in the booth. I mean, this is such a fantastic event to be a part of.
Guys, it really is the greatest all-star game in all the sports, in my opinion. We have the best players in the NBA at the peak of their powers. I mean, I can't wait to see what this year's game has in store for us.
Along with Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. A look at the West All-Stars starting group. We've got Durant.
Oh, and the crowd goes crazy after seeing that finish.
Yep, a throwdown appropriate for the occasion. That's how to get these fans revved up and excited.
And this has become one of the must-see events of the year, which is obvious by all the star power in attendance here tonight.
Well, certainly the Hollywood crowd is on hand, the biggest names from the sports world, music stars. Everybody wants to be a part of All-Star Week.
I love this event so much because it combines the world-class ability of these players with the freedom of the playground.
Yep, it's the greatest and certainly the most fun pickup game these players will ever play in.
And here's the West with the ball. Harden kicks to Durant. Good, it's Harden with the assist that time. Durant's got 5 points so far.
Well, you can't expect lockdown D in the All-Star game, especially in the first half.
Money passes to Gasol. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
And he makes both free throws.
Well, as far as the league's big men go, He's one of the very